What up, folks? It's Dr. Remy LeBeau, and I'm coming at you once again from the X-Lair to give you my brief reaction on the latest episode of Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks episode 10, titled, I don't know what the fuck. That's the title of the episode. I don't know what the fuck, because that's really what happened in the episode. I don't know what the fuck. No, it's clear what happened. It's just, first of all, I love the episode, okay? Like, love it. I can't not love this stuff. Like, and at the end of most episodes where you have like this musical performance for like 5 minutes that has nothing to do with the story, it's always such a beautiful moment, and it's always like a haunting melody, and it really resonates nicely. It really like kind of caps the episode in a way that kind of keeps you feeling a variety of things, a variety of emotions, right? You can't really pinpoint which one is dominant because it's all kind of jumbled, because it's all very confusing and also very clear and also very beautiful and also very ugly. So yeah, just like the overall structure of these episodes, given like how they end generally, regardless of what happens in the episode, it kind of leaves you in sort of this like strange kind of altered state of like, okay, what kind of being at peace with the chaos and confusion, which is an altered state. It's different than what we normally experience because we don't normally get exposed to what I can't. It's even hard to describe what we're seeing here. Anyway, interesting episode. Like the Dougie stuff, of course. Anytime we do any of the Dougie stuff, it's really fun. Like, because it's Kyle MacLachlan, like, just basically being his id, but not in a destructive way. Just like enjoying as much pleasure as possible and kind of being on the cloud nine associated with always enjoying pleasurable things to the highest extent possible. Just kind of like a robotic pleasure high, you know. It must be so fun for Kyle MacLachlan to play that part, and he does it really well, and it's really entertaining. And the sex stuff today was really funny. First, the whole like his wife realizing, hey, wait, my husband's hot now. Like, how did that happen? And then her getting all horny and hot for him, and then her basically raping him because Dougie can't fuck. I mean, he doesn't know what he's doing, so she basically took him, and he loved it, and that was all really fun to watch. The stuff with the two brothers that own the casino, Jim Belushi being one of them, and these three like robotic bunny girls, the whole shtick with them, and like it was really just weird, but just so Twin Peaks, like so characteristic of Twin Peaks. It's like, I don't know, David Lynch is just pumping it out. He's pumping out signature David Lynch Twin Peaks stuff right and left. So all that stuff with the remote control and the fly, that took a good 5 minutes. And it was really odd and perfect. Then there was a brief scene with the brother, the lodge owner's brother, in the forest once again, really fast. I'm just gonna throw stuff out that I remember because it's all very fractured. The only thing that really had any kind of weight to it was, as far as like moving the story forward, was the revelation that that evil Cooper, doppelganger Cooper, was in that room, in that apartment in New York, where in that first episode we had that crazy kind of like box that was, I guess, supposed to maybe capture or channel or something, supernatural energy or entities. And remember, like, there was that horrible murder of the guy that was watching the box with that girl that wanted to screw him and was screwing him. So we never really found out much about that, even though we did see Cooper go through that box at one point when he was coming back to reality, I think. Anyway, it's all hard to kind of put together, but I'm trying to. All right, so we found out that Evil Cooper was there, maybe even was the one responsible for having the box in that apartment, paying for it, having it surveilled in the way that it was, surveyed in the way that it was. All right, so that is probably the most relevant information as far as moving the overall story in the most obvious way possible forward. But obviously everything else did move the story forward. It's hard to understand exactly how it all pieces together. The stuff with that really cruel kid that goes to his grandmother's house and steals money from her, that was all really odd. And how the grandfather was tied up, and there was a teddy bear with a glass head saying, "How are you, Johnny? How are you doing, Johnny?" Or whatever it was saying the whole entire scene. That was all very fucking weird. But we find out that it's somehow related to the lodge owner. So that's interesting, sort of. I don't know. I don't know what to make of a lot of this. The log lady stuff, she was, whatever she was saying, I mean, there was some stuff in there when she was talking to Hawk. There was a mention of Laura. I don't know. I don't even want to try to make sense of it. I'm just going to wait to see what more information we get, because there's no point in really trying to make sense of it, because sometimes David Lynch is not making sense intentionally. So it's not really worth trying to make sense of some of the things. It's just kind of, like I said before, it's just about kind of going along for the ride, just kind of riding the wave of weird. That stuff was interesting. The Miguel Ferrer stuff, that other agent, when he was with that the coroner, and they were kind of having their day, and then David Lynch, the FBI head or whatever he is now, watching him from a distance and kind of admiring him. That was funny, because like the whole thing about Miguel Ferrer's character is that he just was socially awkward, and David Lynch always had to apologize for him because he just wasn't capable of expressing himself in a normal way. So he thought that maybe he couldn't connect with the people, but he's found somebody that's as quirky as him, and now they're connecting, and David Lynch seems to like that. Anyway, there was also that weird moment where David Lynch was in his hotel room, and then Miguel Ferrer comes to the door, and when David Lynch opens the door, he sees Laura Palmer kind of freaking out, and that's a scene from, I think, Fire Walk With Me, when maybe she realizes, I think, that it's her father that's been raping her, I think. Anyway, but like David Lynch saw that, like David Lynch's character, I forgot his name. He saw her, and then Miguel Ferrer comes in, and then there's something said about Diane. Anyway, there's something weird going on there with Diane. I think they're talking about Laura Dern, but maybe not. No, I think so. They're talking about Laura Dern's character and how there's something else going on other than what we assumed was going on. Maybe I don't know. I'm not going to try to speculate, because if I do, I'm going to go crazy. So I'm not going to speculate on it. I'm just going to keep kind of trying to put some things together. And then the whole thing with, like, so remember, Evil Cooper wants Dougie dead, and then he contacted that guy in the casino to have him do it. Now the guy in the casino is blaming Cooper, well, directed Tom Sizemore, who again is another Tarantino actor, who was the other, well, one of the other insurance agents that Dougie works with, he instructed him to tell the Casino brothers that Dougie's responsible for them not getting their insurance money or something. So now they think that all the money that he won at the hotel is probably related to him hating them for one reason or another. And now they're going to go after him. Okay, cool. Not much happened this episode, but a lot happened, but not much happened. But I still love the episode because I love this fucking show. I love everything David Lynch is doing. I think it's beautiful. This is episode 10 of 18, so obviously we're right in the middle. So this is definitely the time to kind of start, kind of moving the pieces to the positions that they need to be to get us to the end. So it makes sense that things wouldn't really be moving along too much, but definitely having a lot of the pieces moving in directions that are interesting, if they don't always necessarily make any kind of sense, or really have any kind of connection, it doesn't matter, because it's Twin Peaks, and that's what Twin Peaks is. Twin Peaks is David Lynch's baby, and I hope by now you understand the kind of filmmaker that David Lynch is. There's an art movement, it's called Dadaism. It's Dadaism, I think. And basically the approach is just to throw a bunch of random things together and just kind of see what results from it. Like, not have any kind of rhyme or reason to putting a bunch of elements together. And I think he is heavily influenced by Dadaism, as well as Surrealism, as well as like German Expressionism and maybe Impressionism as well. And there's also some maybe so there's this movement called Italian Neorealism that occurred, I think, in the 50s, where filmmakers were trying to make the movies feel as authentic as possible. So there was a lot of stationary shots and long takes, not a lot of cutting. You see I don't know if you see long takes, but you do see these sort of long sequences that don't necessarily do a lot, but like the sequences themselves, because they're extended out, kind of put you into the moment if you allow it to, and gives you more of a sense of realism to the world by kind of immersing you in the banality of the world. It's a really interesting approach. It's unconventional, and of course that's why I have no idea actually how people in general are responding to this show, but I'm just wondering if like the general viewing public is like enjoying this, or they just think this is fucking crazy and I'm not gonna watch it. I know regardless of what the answer to that question is, that this is going to live on as like a great piece of cinematic art. 18-hour film by David Lynch, you can't call it anything other than a cinematic work of art. And I'm really happy to be seeing it, and that's that. I can't say much more this week. We'll see what happens next week. Anyway, thanks for checking out my video. Thanks for checking out my YouTube channel. If you haven't already subscribed, you have the option to do so. You can do so just clicking right there. And as always, if you haven't already, I'd suggest you put an X in the boxes and ladies, because ain't nobody checking me. That's right, ain't nobody checking me, folks. Take care, bye-bye.